Hey you guys, so today I wanted to show off a Benefit's new product, their Real Liner in color. They just came out with 4 new colors and 2 new colors of the Their Real Mascara. Before we move any further, I want you guys to know that this video is sponsored, so if you have any issues with that, now's your time to click away. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on these first, and then we will jump right into the tutorial. So as I mentioned, they have 4 new colors. They have purple, blue, green, and brown. If you guys remember my first Their Real review with just the straight black one, I did mention that the formula was quite dry to me and it didn't really work with the applicator in the way that I felt like it should. Now since then, I've revisited that liner and I've been using it a lot this summer with a brush. So instead of just using it in the applicator, I just pump out some product onto a palette and use it with a small brush, and it works phenomenal like that. I have to say that the formula in the color versions is a lot creamier. It's a lot easier to apply with the applicator in my opinion. I still will go in and touch up any bumps and stuff like that, as you will see in this video, with a small brush because I find it a lot quicker and just kind of easier. When I first got these liners, I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to see these because they're going to be super bright and cool and this is going to be awesome. So I was at first a little bit disappointed that they're more muted because I was like, oh, a color line, like they're going to be like super intense. And they are definitely a little bit more muted and kind of dark. But now that I've been playing with them and using them a little bit more, I'm like, okay, it makes them a lot more wearable. Typically I wouldn't wear colored liner as like my full liner. I would just add a little bit on the top. But that's because it's usually a bright color that I wouldn't wear as like my full liner. So these definitely are more wearable being the colors that they are. But that said, I do hope that they come out with like a bright line. Holla at me, Benefit. This product I find is something that you're either going to absolutely love or really not get along with. If you're somebody that struggles with liner as is, I do recommend trying this because it is a very different way to apply it. And I do find that you can have a little bit more control with these sometimes than you would with, say, like a liquid liner or something like that. I do find that the formula differs from color to color. I find that the green one is my absolute favorite in terms of formula. It's super creamy, it applies very opaque, and it's just really nice. The blue one and the brown one are also nice. They're like my second phase. And then I find the purple the least creamy, and it just seems to be not as kind of fluid during application. So there you have it. These do blend out very beautifully if you want to use them for like a smoky liner or even like underneath as like an eyeshadow base, which I'll also be showing you guys. So who I would recommend these to is if you didn't like the first formula but you liked the applicator, definitely give these a go because the formula seems to be a lot creamier. And if you didn't like anything about the first push-up liner but you picked it up anyways and it's just sitting in your desk, try it with a brush. I really think you will find it to be a lot easier to work with. Alright, let's get on with it. Okay, so I'm just going to start by clicking the pen once. That should pump out enough product. It may not look like there's anything coming out, but if you've already used this before, it will start to come out slowly. So yeah. So if you're going to be just wearing liner or very minimal shadow on the bottom, you can just go ahead and line the first line up with your lower lash line and extend it upwards almost as if it's a continuation of that line. I like to move it down a little bit lower so it's still basically parallel with that lower line, but it's a little bit further down because I bring my lower eyeshadow down so far. So I'm just gonna start my line a little bit lower than that, and I'm gonna drag it up just in a straight line. Essentially, I'm gonna line it up with, like if your brow was really ridiculously long, it would be essentially touching, you know what I'm saying? Like this. If you want your eyes to look kind of like larger and more open, have that line going up towards that brow bone. If you want your eyes to look more elongated, you can have it going out a little bit straighter, if that makes sense. So anyways, we're doing our first line, and then I'm gonna click the product one more time, and I'm gonna take my line right from the tip and just drag it down in a straight line. I'm gonna do a couple clicks here, and I'm just gonna quickly fill in this outer wing. Typically, you don't want to hit your crease with your winged liner. You want to stop just underneath it because when you look down, it will look like it almost kind of goes like jagged. It's really bizarre, but I actually don't mind that look. I like it to be really thick on the outer corner, so I don't mind if it goes over top of my crease. If you're looking for more of like a classic or like wearable look, then you won't want to do that. You'll want to keep it below your crease. So now I'm just going to start on the inner corner here, and I'm just going to make a thin line. And then once you have that line kind of down, what you can do is you can take right from the highest point and basically just connect these two lines. So what I'm going to do now is I just have a little bit of that product on the back of my hand. I just pumped it out of the pen and put it onto, I mean, you could put it on a palette if you want it to be fancy, but I just put it onto my body. So I'm going to be taking a thin little brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and go over top of any parts that are bumpy. I just find it a little bit quicker to do this part with the brush. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is pump up that product a little bit, and then I'm just going to apply it under my lower lash line, kind of sloppily, not too concerned, unbothered, just getting it close to the lash line. And then I'm just going to take this little shader brush and blend it out. And I'm going to use that as a base for my eyeshadows on the bottom because it makes it last forever. I don't know about you guys, but my eyeshadow on the bottom tends to just kind of piece out like 2 hours after I do it, especially in the summer. So if I apply a base like this, like any kind of eyeliner base, it really helps to make that eyeshadow just like, it's just like, I'm gonna hang out here for the rest of the day. Don't worry about me. You don't have to check up on me, girl. I'm gonna be here. And then I'm just gonna go over that with some green shadows of your choice. Basically the same color is what I'm doing. And then a slightly more kind of lime greeny olive tone towards the inner corner there. And then I'm gonna apply some Lashes mascara and I'll show you guys the finished look. So this is the final look. So that is everything, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something cool today. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below and I'll get back to you. All right, peace out.